Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another Skirm devlog. On this episode, I make Skirm less ugly, revolutionize the world of earthbending, create predefined maps, and actually spend $18. Let's jump in. So the first area I made prettier was character selection screen. I added some foliage and particle effects so that this now looks like this. A little bit busy, but my grass and trees still don't quite have the right look, as I'm trying to get my trees to look more like this from Woodbound. The smooth shading doesn't really match the rest of the game, and this diagram sort of illustrates what I'm going for. I went ahead and finally added strafing whenever the player performs an attack. So now the player is always facing where he attacks, and the animation is much less inconsistent. I might add this strafing whenever the character is locked on, similar to how Dark Souls camera works when you're fighting an opponent. We'll see, I sort of want to play around with that. But as I continue to make stuff pretty, I decided to actually learn Shader Forge, which, if you guys don't know, that's basically a tool similar to Unity's 2019 shader graph to basically create your own materials and shaders and whatnot. And it's gone, like people haven't used it in years. So I don't really just know why I decided to learn it then. And I wound up slaving a couple hours over it, making this cute little fire blast effect. It works by changing a dissolve variable until the flames are completely gone, and proceeded to completely scrap it for a new effect I bought and modified from Epic Tune VFX. I modified all the fire attacks to use some of the shaders from this pack, and would definitely say they match the feel of the game more. The fire looks great, and I'll have a setting for the amount of particles to be displayed so that every computer can handle it, even the potato computers I used to play Minecraft on. I created a shader to show the player exactly where they were going to earthbend, and surprise, proceeded to immediately scrap that too. Added some sick changing element effects so that you can go Super Saiyan when you spam them really fast. I fixed the camera shake, FOV, and chromatic aberration when running, as well as the earthbending camera shake. The camera is much smoother now, and instead of just doing a transformation shift to make it look like it's shaking, it's now also rotating and much smoother, so it looks a lot more realistic. However, the quickest way to make Skirm look better was by fixing the thing that covered half the map, the water. It needed 1, a makeover, and 2, less volatile waves. I used a new shader for the water, and also made it so that the vertices in the mesh are changed via sine function. That, in addition to having the mesh move up and down on a timer, made it much more realistic. The previous water was just a cloth component that used like physics to bounce up and down, and it could have definitely been better. It's hacked together. Didn't intend on keeping it this long, so because I was already on the water, I went ahead and modified another effect from the pack to create a cute little splash effect. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I might add another effect when you're just walking through water and not landing it. But before all of that, I had started work on redoing the earthbending system. Before, the earthbending was essentially one big gridded mesh that would update every single frame. Split that into several meshes. Right now they're 13.5 by 13.5, so that each frame, a new mesh collider would only be constructing around 324 vertices, as opposed to 4,466 vertices, like it was doing before. Because of this, I was able to add more vertices per chunk, so attacks are less blocky, and I was able to add as many chunks as I wanted. So that's right, Battle Royale, we're gonna Fortnite it up, pay to win, coming 2021. There's still some problems with the corner of the chunks not syncing up, but I sort of create a solution to that later, and I'll fix it soon enough. I was playing around with it and wound up earthbending some ravines into the map, and realized how much more interesting the playing field could be if it wasn't just a desolate plane. So I added 2 lines of code and set the height of each vertice to that of the active terrain. I could take advantage of Unity's built-in terrain editor to create predefined maps for battles. Players can vote on those. Haven't implemented that, but then they can choose which ones they want to play. It makes the game look prettier and adds gameplay variety. Players can even earthbend underwater now because of the increase in the amount of earthbending chunks, and potentially save themselves from falling into the water if they have quick enough reaction time. It'd be really cool if I also added trees and grass to the terrain, and that's next on my list. But first I need to figure out how to make the trees look pretty. The last thing I added was a provisional settings screen. You can set your key bindings here, your sensitivity, and probably moveset so that you can adjust to your opponent's fighting style in between rounds. It's probably going to be a different tab, but we'll see. But that was it for this update. Spread the word that Skirm is on the rise and you want to be here to see it. And before you guys go, I have one last question. Do you prefer the lighting in option 1 or option 2 better? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Minecraft and Bitcoin. Imagine that all combined into one product, and that's Skirm.